With ClickOrlando.com, this is News 6, getting results.
Now on News 6, a water bill mystery for a mom who lives in a modest condo. She was stunned to learn that she owes more than $1,000 and there was no sign of any leak. We're working to get results and we uncovered a possible explanation. We'll have that story in just a few moments. But first,
there's a lot of people who had no idea what they were getting themselves into.
It is very difficult to hire private counsel for a case like this.
They are suspects in the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Now the government is paying to defend them, and the money is coming straight from your wallet. You're watching a special edition of News 6 Getting Results. I'm Erik Sandoval. Thanks for joining us. Here on News 6, we investigate the issues that are important to you, and hopefully along the way we can help get results. We start with this story. One by one, investigators have been making arrests in the Capitol Hill riots. Now, for more than 300 people, the government they're accused of trying to overthrow is paying to defend them in court. Tonight, I'm taking a look at how much their defense could cost you, the taxpayer. When hundreds stormed the U.S. Capitol in January, the Justice Department says it began the largest investigation it has ever taken on. So far, investigators have used surveillance images, social media posts, and cell phone data to uncover conspiracies to disrupt the government. Court documents show one of them involves at least 3 people from Central Florida who are now jailed, accused of plotting with other members of the Oath Keepers to storm the Capitol.
If you really look at the amount of information that has been generated about the event of the insurrection on January 6th, it's massive.
Defense attorney Mark O'Mara says he's been asked by some of those arrested to represent them in court. But he says he's had to say no. And he says other private attorneys may have to as well.
The amount of information that you now have to go through to see what nuggets may be there to benefit your client is just enormous, almost unattainable.
There's a lot of people who had no idea what they were getting themselves into.
Mitchell Stone is the president of the Florida Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers. He says each person deserves a defense, but he admits there's a lot of irony in this case.
Essentially, an attempt to overthrow the government. I mean, that's really what it came down to. And so now they're relying upon that same government to provide them a defense.
Stone says he's being conservative when he estimates each Capitol riot case from arrest to trial will cost taxpayers $50,000. Multiply that by the number of Central Florida residents who've been arrested, that's about $600,000. Multiply it by the more than 320 people arrested across the nation, that's approximately $15 million in taxpayer dollars that could be spent on their defense. That includes these 2 men who were arrested after the death of Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick.
When that happened, this turned from an insurrection or an event to murder. And it's going to stay in our attention for a long time to come.
The Department of Justice says that they are pursuing even more arrests. O'Mara says that many of these cases may not even make it to trial and could be settled out of court. Some charges could be dropped. Some people could walk away with fines or lesser charges. Still others, though, could go to trial and they could end up spending decades behind bars. Now to a water bill mystery. A Central Florida mother was shocked to receive 2 sky-high water bills, each totaling around $1,000. Maybe there was a water leak, but her family lives on the 2nd floor of a 2-story condominium. So what could have happened? News 6 investigator Mike DeForest is getting results.
Janaína Bajos says she and her 2 kids live on a tight budget, so they limit their water use.
Uso bem pouco.
I really use a little bit of water.
The family showers and uses the toilets in their Kissimmee condominium, and Bajos washes laundry about twice a week, but rarely does dishes.
Not even the dishwasher runs quite frequently because she doesn't really cook at home. She usually does takeout, so it's not any usage from the kitchen as well.
Otavio Carvalho, a close family friend, contacted News 6 after the single mother received several unusually high water bills. Each month, records show Bajos was using an average of 9,000 gallons of water, which cost her around $89 monthly, give or take. But in December, her water usage spiked to 82,000 gallons. The cost? Nearly $1,200. In January, 71,000 gallons at a cost of almost $1,000. By February, her water usage dropped back down.
Impossível, seria impossível.
Bajos insists there's no way she and her kids used that much water, which could have filled her condominium's community swimming pool 4 times. The family lives on the second floor of a 2-story condo building. Underneath the stairwell sits the water meter. A representative for the Club Corteil Condominium Association says there have been no leaks in the water pipes between the meter and the family's unit. Also, the association has not been made aware of any other owners or occupants who have received unusually high water bills. So, what happened? We may never know for sure. However, News 6 discovered that each condo has a water spigot on the ground level, even if the unit is on the 2nd story. Bajos claims she was unaware her condo had an outdoor water spigot and did not know she was financially responsible for it. Tonight, Bajos cannot rule out the possibility that someone may have turned it on without her knowledge. That's why some tenants have placed padlocks on their spigots.
It's a shocker to see somebody, a single mom of 2 kids having to go through a situation like this.
And we've got good news to report. That mom is getting results. Toho Water Authority tries to help its customers with unexpected water leaks by offering a 1-month credit on their water bill, regardless of the cause. After reviewing this situation, Toho Water Authority decided to give that mom a credit for the 2nd month as well. Mike DeForest, getting results, News 6.
Wow. Well, earlier this year, a federal moratorium on evictions was extended even longer, but that didn't stop some landlords from trying to oust some tenants who still weren't paying their rent. News 6 uncovered thousands of evictions that are currently winding their way through Central Florida courts. But where are the hardest hit areas? I crunched the numbers, and I found out that some of those numbers have some really heartbreaking stories.
Daltonia Thomas called News 6 for help as soon as Orange County Sheriff's deputies showed up at her door.
Is that how long you've lived here?
Yes, almost 2 years.
Armed with an eviction order, they told her that she, her boyfriend, and her 5 children had to gather what they could and get out of their rental home.
What are you going to do now?
I don't know.
Can you talk to me about how hard it was to find a job over the last year?
I mean, especially with the whole corona thing, it was pretty difficult.
Andino and Thomas lived in the 32808 zip code. News 6 examined all of the open evictions filed since June of last year in Orange County, and we found out their zip code has among the highest number, with 207 cases still pending. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, nearly 70% of the people who live there are African American, and 26% of them work in the hospitality and service industries, which were hard hit by the pandemic.
We deal with people low income, and they're hit the hardest by this.
Jeffrey Hussey is the litigation director for the Community Legal Services of Mid-Florida. He says his staff is getting ready for what he calls a tsunami of new evictions.
That wave is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, because the moratoriums are great. That's saving people's housing, but it just keeps pushing the problem down the road.
We jumped in to get results for Thomas and her 5 children.
I have her information, and with her permission, she's told me it's okay to share it with you.
We also contacted Orlando City Commissioner Regina Hill, who serves Thomas's district.
I've walked in Daltonia's shoes at one point in my life where I was homeless with 3 small children.
Hill says she immediately helped Thomas enroll in a city program that helps people financially impacted by COVID with a temporary place to stay. As a result, Thomas now tells us she has a job, and she's about to get a new place of her own.
I just want to thank you, though, Eric. This never would have happened to help this family of 7 if you personally had not got involved and cared.
It's what we do here at News 6. We help get results. Thomas and her children are just one family who were impacted by COVID-related eviction. You can see how many other families are impacted all across Central Florida by heading to our website. Click Orlando.com. Just look for the investigators section. You can find it at the top of our homepage. There you will also find some recommendations if you or someone you know may be at risk of losing their home. Well, they dropped off their dog to get groomed. Their next stop, an emergency trip to the vet.
Devastated. I mean, I can't imagine an animal standing there in so much pain.
The groomer's animal care license was revoked, leaving a lot of people to ask why this business was still open. See what I found out coming up. Plus, while we were quarantining in 2020, auto thefts were increasing by double digits. And criminals have a favorite car they're targeting. Could it be yours? News 6 investigates coming up next. You're watching a special edition of News 6 Getting Results. We're getting results for all of Central Florida on air and on our News 6 mobile app. We'll be right back.
The one sale you can't miss this weekend is City Furniture's Memorial Day weekend event, where you can find an upholstered queen bed for just $149 or a velvet sofa for $499 and a space-saving dining set for only $299. Because with big doorbuster savings and 60 months special financing, plus no minimum free shipping, we're making it easy so everyone can live like this.
This isn't your typical runaway bride scene. It's a Nissan sales event ad. Now that's something I can commit to. His RAV4 doesn't even have as many standard safety features as this Rogue.
Hurry in and save up to $72.62 on select models.
Love may be forever, but these offers are not.
Is your bladder controlling your life? Are you always looking for a bathroom and missing out on the fun? Now you can regain your independence and freedom with Famaxine, the scientifically tested natural formula that is dramatically changing women's lives. Nearly 25 million women over the age of 40 suffer from urinary incontinence. Famaxine's dual action starts work on the detrusor muscle contractions in the fill-void stage, relaxing it to help you control urge incontinence. Famaxine also sends weak signals to the M3 nerve receptors, helping them send a contraction command to the bladder smooth muscle, helping you control stress incontinence. Just one tablet a day, Famaxine begins working within 3 weeks of first use. Convenient and safe with no negative side effects. Order now to take advantage of our limited time buy one, get one free offer. Visit Famaxine.com and start your monthly subscription for the low price of $39.90.
Central Florida. Attorney Dan Newland is bringing our healthcare heroes a free concert starring award-winning musical artist Shaggy. And Flo Rida. Universal Studios Hard Rock Cafe, July 17th, 6 p.m. Healthcare Heroes. Log on to DanNewlandFreeConcert.com to get your free tickets.
The all-new Hyundai Tucson. Buy the all-new Tucson for 1.9% APR for 60 months or lease for $209 a month. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
What the?
What the?
We've all seen some strange things on our roads that make us go, what the? And now I want you to share those moments with me. Send videos and pictures from your dash camera or your passenger of all the wild and weird things that you see, and I'll break down the good, the bad, and yes, the surprisingly correct driving habits. Visit clickorlando.com/whatthehonk to submit what you're seeing today.
Cited for inhumane treatment of an animal, a Brevard County dog groomer was ordered to shut down, but we found out she was still working, and many were asking why that was happening. This isn't the first time we've investigated the groomer called Paws and Claws in Merritt Island, but this time actually is different. As a result of what happened to a dog named Lachlan, the owner's animal care license was revoked by the Florida Department of Health. And we found out she's not only still grooming animals, she still owes a lot of money in court fines.
He was family.
Rebecca and Morris Netchers say they adored their 6-year-old golden doodle named Lachlan.
We always said he was a human in a dog suit.
In April of 2019, they say they brought Lachlan to get groomed here at Paws and Claws in Merritt Island. They say he wasn't ready until 10 hours later.
She brought him out, and he had a towel around his neck, and he'd been cut in numerous locations, about 7, and I mean big gashes. It was so bad.
Brevard County Animal Services launched an investigation, and they charged Paws and Claws owner Kelly Jo Strabley with not seeking medical treatment for Lachlan after he was injured. News 6 first told you about Strabley in 2016 when a dog died in her care. And again in 2017, she was cited for leaving another dog in the sun too long. She agreed to a plea bargain in court. This time, a judge convicted her of inhumane treatment of an animal. And as a result of that infraction, she now appears on Brevard County's animal abuse database. And the Florida Department of Health revoked her animal care license, ordering her to cease operation of her business within 24 hours.
Hello?
So why is Paws and Claws still open? We asked the Department of Health, and they told us they have a new license.
The license wasn't submitted under Ms. Strabley's name. It was under one of her employees' names, who the business is now in that employee's name.
News 6 investigated and found out Strabley still owes court fines, $200 from the case involving Lachlan, and more than $1,100 from other violations that date back to 2017. According to Brevard County's clerk of courts, all of them have been sent to a collections agency for payment.
Ms. Strabley?
We went to Paws and Claws to talk to Strabley, but a worker told us she wasn't there.
Could you help me get a hold of her?
She's not in. She's in Indiana right now.
She's in Indiana?
But minutes later, Strabley appeared in the parking lot.
We just want to ask you about the past court fines that you have. You have over $1,000 in court fines in Brevard County that you haven't paid yet.
For what?
I can show you the list if you'd like to. Okay.
But Strabley didn't want to see the list.
I don't want to talk about any case. I want you off my property.
Okay, so you don't want to look at the past court fines you have?
No.
We left as she requested. The Florida Department of Health says Strabley can still work with animals. She just can't own the business anymore because of that incident with Lachlan. The Better Business Bureau tells us pet owners need to do their homework when they choose a groomer, and that includes visiting the business while your pet is there. We also have some other recommendations on our website. Click Orlando.com. Just look for the investigator section. It's right at the top left of our homepage. Now to a pandemic surge in car thefts. In 2019, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement says crooks stole nearly 39,000 vehicles in the state of Florida. New numbers show those thefts went up dramatically in 2020. And News 6 investigator Lewis Bolden found out those criminals also have a favorite vehicle they're targeting.
This is surveillance video of Jennifer Bailey's gray Kia Forte pulling into an Orlando parking lot. Moments later, police say this man saw the car, jumped inside, and drove off.
I was in shock. I was like, what are you talking about? My car got stolen.
Bailey says her friend was driving the car, left it running while she ran into a business, and it was stolen in seconds.
That just seemed like the most out of character situation. Like, I've never had anything like that happen to me.
It happened at the end of April in 2020, almost 2 months into the pandemic, and Bailey is by no means alone. According to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, auto thefts increased statewide by nearly 1,000 vehicles in the first 6 months of 2020 compared to the year before. What do you attribute that increase to?
We aren't certain, but one of the things that we do have in mind is the fact that unemployment rates right now with the pandemic are a little bit higher, and it's causing people to do desperate things that maybe they wouldn't normally do.
While numbers specific to Florida aren't available for the second half of 2020, the National Insurance Crime Bureau reports it will likely get worse. Preliminary numbers show auto thefts increased nationally by double digits in the last 6 months of 2020. They believe it will be the same for Florida.
And it's really simple. The pandemic.
Mark Friedlander is with the Insurance Information Institute.
The pandemic is clearly a significant factor in why we saw an over 9% increase in auto thefts in 2020.
The Insurance Information Institute and police believe criminals are targeting neighborhoods. With more and more people working from home, criminals see the same car in the same place day after day and that makes it a target.
Someone thinks that they can steal the car and it goes unnoticed for a longer period of time because the car is not being used.
In some cases, crooks don't have to break in, they just get in. According to the NICB, from 2017 to 2019, 244,000 vehicles were stolen in the U.S. because the keys were left inside. Of the top 5 states where it happened most, Florida is second on the list.
You think that's the simplest thing? Lock your doors, take your key.
And if you drive a 2006 full-size Ford pickup, you certainly need to lock up. It was the most stolen vehicle in Florida in 2019, according to the NICB.
The number one vehicle for contractors. One thing we look at is what's inside that vehicle. There could be thousands of dollars of tools in that vehicle.
Police say it's never a bad idea to take extra precautions like steering wheel brake locks and kill switches. Getting results, I'm Louis Bolden, News 6.
Oh, we don't have to tell you this. Gators are all over Central Florida, in our lakes and in our neighborhoods.
And that's really what puts that fear in folks out there that maybe don't know about Florida, maybe just moved here to Florida.
News 6 is tracking where nuisance gators have been spotted this past year and which lakes have the most of them. We'll have that story coming up next. You're watching a special edition of News 6 Getting Results. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The shareable nobody wants to share. Fried pickles, back for a limited time, only at Zaxby's. Redeem rewards, scan to pay, order ahead on the Zaxby's app.
Well, hello, Winn-Dixie.
Let's shop and win.
I wanna win! Winn-Dixie's fresh produce is so refreshingly fresh. Wow!
Best quality, winning rewards. Winn-Dixie, it's a win-win.
Let's get back to brunching instead of late-night munching. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts on COVID-19 vaccines. Visit GetVaccineAnswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
My husband and I were T-boned by a careless driver, and attorney Dan Newland got me $100,000.
And Dan got me $400,000.
It's the last weekend of the Rooms to Go Memorial Day sale, so refresh your home today. Now through Monday, save on our huge selection of furniture, like this sectional, just $9.99 or $17 a month. Or this living room, just $30 a month interest-free. Save on rooms like this. Or this, just $9.55 or $16 a month. Shop room by room and get low sale prices like this. With 60-month interest-free financing. Hurry, the Rooms to Go Memorial Day sale ends Monday.
Dukes has twang. Does your mayo have it? Do you ask for it by name when you go out to eat? Do you display your devotion to it for all the world to see? Can it elevate your lime cilantro aioli to a level that's borderline holy? If not, you're probably using the wrong mayo. That's because only Duke's mayo has twang. It's that little southern something that elevates food from good to downright ridiculous. Get Duke's. It's got twang.
I'm pinpointing weather from Cocoa Beach.
Dear Mainland, aloha. Now we know you guys love Friday. You even thank the creator for it, TGIF. But why leave out Thursday? Maybe you call Thursday Little Friday and be thankful for it too.
Happy Little Friday.
It's Monday, brother. Happy Teeny Tiny Friday. One life, right? Mahalo.
Longboard Island Lager and Big Wave Golden Ale from Kona Brewing.
Well, hello, Winn-Dixie. Great food, gratitude, and the best quality. Baby back or St. Louis spare ribs are BOGO, and watermelons are just $3.99. Love getting the best quality and winning rewards. Winn-Dixie, it's a win-win.
If you like Zaxby's, you're going to love the Zaxby's app. Use it to order ahead to fast-track your order. Plus, member-only rewards and surprises along the way. It's easy. It's convenient. It's the Zaxby's app. Download it today.
Now on News 6, as you may already know, alligators live among us. We've seen several incidents just like this one earlier this year where deputies with the Polk County Sheriff's Office ran into a 10-foot 700-pound gator near a middle school. You know, sometimes these guys are found in pools. They even show up on people's doorsteps. But just how frequent are these sightings, and where are they spotted the most? News 6 investigator Maris Badcock went to find out.
Home to more than 2,000 alligators. It's also,
come here, buddy,
fittingly, Florida's first theme park, Gatorland.
Turnpike, come here.
We met with Brandon Fisher.
Oh, that's a good boy.
A gator expert.
Oh, I hear you. Buddy, here.
Who still has all 10 fingers and toes.
Come on, gators. Oh,
despite his day job.
Everybody thinks alligators, mean scary, but they're not going to eat people just to eat people. They're not going to eat your dogs and cats just to eat them. They get scared. They're very protective animals.
Protective.
There you go, big boy.
And hungry.
Once you hand feed a wild alligator, once you touch a wild alligator, that's it. You basically signed his death certificate. They get used to us very, very quickly.
News 6 found at least once a day, on average, Florida alligators and human habitats collide. State data shows nearly 400 people reported alligators that were a little too close for comfort last year. Brevard County had the most calls statewide for troublesome gators. Orange County came in fourth. News 6 also found a 10-footer in DeBary, 6 gators together in St. Cloud, another at a school in Sanford, and at least 5 gators at public stores across the state. But most of the documented sightings happened at public parks or residential areas near wetlands, like this one.
Just wondering, did you guys ever call about an alligator?
Yes. Yep. Piper and her grandmother were 2 of those people who called twice last year after spotting a baby 4-footer in the ditch outside her Polk County home.
There was a dude that came out here once, and he seen it, but he went into the drains.
When they called the second time,
there's a house on the other side, and apparently they've been feeding him.
They were told the drain ditch owner would have to report it. A call that could go to Mark Monez, a trapper who deals with nuisance gators in Polk County.
This is where they said the gator was?
Yeah, they wanted to get the gator removed before they did any work in here.
It looks like the gator must have removed himself.
Yeah.
A false alarm, but we still got to meet these nuisance gators. Caught earlier in the day.
Definitely not happy. He was trying to get somebody's dog, and she was fearful that the dog was going to get taken.
The largest he's ever caught?
13.6.
That's bull gator status. And locally, these lakes have the largest populations of gators, larger than 9 feet. Lake Poinsett on the St. Johns River, Lake Kissimmee in Osceola County, and Lake Jessup in Seminole County.
Lake Jessup actually used to be a dumping site for the trappers here in the state. Growing up, I always heard that you could take a stone and skip it on Lake Jessup and hit like 10 alligators. There's a lot of them there, I know that.
Duly noted. That was Maris Badcock reporting. We got a year's worth of data from Florida Fish and Wildlife, and that's information we put on a map so you can see where gators have been sighted this past year. You can also see the size of the gator if you click on the individual dots you see there on the map. It's all on our website at clickorlando.com. Thank you so much for watching. You can find all of these stories on clickorlando.com, powered by News 6. Just look for the Investigators section at the top of the homepage. I'm Erik Sandoval. Have a good night.